lot of women. Yourself, you're one of them. You're also one of them. Thanks so much for joining us here in the studio.
Thank you very much. Today
is International Women's Day. What do you make up of the day? Specifically the theme, Be Bold for Change.
Well, first of all, let me say congratulations to all women all over the world, and especially here in Ghana. The thematic issue in Be Bold for Change, I think it's fantastic. And I think it's reflective of where we are now in society and where we are in terms of legislation and where the status of women actually is. It's, as they say in America, we've come a long way, baby. You know, we've come a very long way. And I think that sometimes we don't congratulate ourselves enough as women, and the fact that now our girl children are almost on a par with the boy children in terms of not only entry into secondary school, but also retention at the university, being able to stay into higher levels. So we need to congratulate ourselves.
Okay, let me get your thoughts also on the day and the theme for the day, Be Bold for Change.
Thank you very much. I would like to salute our cherished viewers and women all over the world, congratulating ourselves for an imperative day like this. The theme, to me, is the best for our time. Be bold. When we talk about one being bold, we look at women as people, we are feeble and we fear in taking certain decisions. And looking at where we have reached, just as my sister said, now we are at par with the men if it comes to education. If it comes to BEC, the results, the girls are making it. WASI, they are also making it, and the entering, they are doing their best. So be bold, yes. We're looking at the woman, wherever you find yourself. Do not allow yourself to be intimidated by anything around you. Don't fear. Just be assertive, be yourself, be whom you are. There is a need for you to know yourself. If you don't know yourself, you might be intimidated. But if you get to know who you are, there's no one that can intimidate you. Fearless. We even have it in our national anthem. Fearless. Be bold. So we are calling on all women, if you come to empowering us, no one will give it to you on silver platter. You need to nurture, you need to train yourself, you need to prepare. Make your mind that you want to do something and be bold. Do not fear.
Let's look at women. Can you say that, Madam Betty Modidushi, there are limitations, you know, on women, and that we are not able to progress as women?
Well, by the very nature of being a woman, being a feminine person, you have to procreate, or you, if you wish, to have children. In the old days, I would have said that every one child you have sets you back in your career.
But it's not the same.
It's not the same now. It's a fantastic progression. I'm so privileged to have been able to see it in my lifetime, that having children need not set you back. I've mentored a lot of women lawyers in my life, and women professionals, and I've always told them that, look, you can do whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is you set out to do. But in the context of our family situation, it's easier in Ghana or in Africa or in developing countries if you have your husband's support, a support system at home. But, you know, now the men take it, or the husbands or your partners, they take it for granted that they must do a co-equal part of the work more often than not. So I think that even that consciousness has made a unique inroad into our traditional values, and I think it's fantastic opportunities for young women.
For you will say that you have gotten to a higher height. How were you able to get to that part?
It was tough.
How tough was it
very,
for you?
Very tough. It's not easy. I worked twice as hard, I think, as the average man. And you have to be on top of each situation. You know, you have to really be on top of it. You cannot for a moment slack. The perceptions that, oh, because you're a woman and because you are halfway good looking, therefore you must have, excuse me to say, slept your way to the top,
exactly.
is I think, is pervasive. It's not only in Ghana. It's pervasive culturally, and it's very stereotypical, maybe, of developing countries. But we have to fight. We had to fight our way. Therefore, you then get tagged with other terms. Either you are incompetent, or else you are man, woman, or Margaret Thatcher, or Iron Lady.
Have you come face to
face everything.
And how were you able to take it? You know, looking at progressing and
you have to know who you are, and be proud of who you are. You have to take pride in being a woman. I keep saying that I wouldn't want to have been born a man. I'm the only sister with my 3 brothers, and I think that I'm happy to have been born a woman. I come from the Ashanti region, where the women traditionally are very strong, and where traditionally is a matriarchal society. So that is one part. But married into another culture and raising children or young girls in another form, it's been extremely challenging, balancing home and life. Of course, now I'm retired.
Well, so looking at it being challenging, you have to do double of what you have to do before you get to where you are. At a point, you were tipped, you know, to be the running mate of the then, you know, candidates for your party. Do you think that at a point you didn't get to that point because you're a woman, or what factors went against you in getting there?
It's easy to think that. I like to put my hands and to put my destiny at the path of our good Lord Himself, who created me. This is His purpose for me. This is His destiny for me. I like to think of myself as somebody who I've managed to blaze the trail. I've opened the path, and I've had a fantastic time doing it with the women of Ghana. But this being International Women's Day, really, it brings back a lot of memories for me, especially with our women lawyers, you know, movement.
Having trained a lot of them.
And not only trained, being so active in the formation and participation of the rights-based agenda for the women of this country. And I really want to say a big thumbs up to the lawyers, the lady lawyers of Ghana, the lady judges, our CJ, all of us, because it's really not an easy journey.
We would come into that, you know, how they are also working to ensure that women, you know, the limitations are limited, you know. Let me come to Madam Agyemang and find out from her. Politics, the house, domestic work, how are you able to combine both? How have you struggled, you know, within combining both, you know, politics and then doing your home chores as well?
Thanks so much. It has been very tough that we all talking about, because you're talking about doing 3 things at the same time: a mother, a politician, and a teacher, a worker. And you need more than 24 hours to do this work. So you need to plan. It's about planning, telling yourself what you want to do. My day begins at 3 a.m. That's how I start the day.
Every day?
Every day, 3 a.m. And I thank God for my late mother, who brought me up back at the village. 3 a.m., as I'm talking about, we are going to the village, we are going to the farm. You walk 15 in, 15 out, and that is how I was brought up. It has not been easy, just as we are saying. You need to do all that within your powers, and you wouldn't say that because it's so cumbersome. For that matter, you leave one and do the other. You need to do all that you need to do. And finance is not an easy thing. You need to take care of the children, and you need to set aside some also for politics and other things. has not been an easy thing. But just as we are saying, I'm proud to be a woman, and I'm proud that nothing, absolutely nothing, just as you said twice, and all it has been independent. Why? Because we still want to fight for the women. How are we going to do it if you don't come out yourself to tell the whole world that you are capable of doing it, irrespective of where you find yourself as a woman? We are bold, looking at even the team, be bold for change. I tell you, it's so fantastic. So we need to put all hands on deck as a woman, prepare your mind, tell yourself you want to do it. No one is going to do it for you.
I like the way both of you put the word be bold,
yes.
you know, especially Madame Idrisu, be bold, yes. The way she goes about it. But still, let me stay with you. The issue, you are two-time, you know, candidates for your party at a point where asked to step aside. Did you feel neglected because you were a woman and so you were told to step aside, or what?
Thank you. And I didn't step aside. And this comes back to the boldness, yes, that we're talking about. Even though I didn't get it through, but we're still talking about empowering the women. We need more women to serve in that capacity. And so should I accept? So, well, I'm saying I didn't. I fought ahead. I went ahead, even though I didn't win. But still, I made a point.
Did you feel neglected, you know, the fact that because you were a woman, that is why you were told to step aside, or there were some issues that you thought that, oh, okay, so it is true, I have to step aside?
I wouldn't say because I'm a woman, that's why I was asked to set aside. No, we went into the pools and I didn't make it because it was capital intensive and a whole lot went into it. But look at me sitting here. I said no. I feel that there's the need for me to serve. It's a call to serve your people. And hadn't taught for the past 33 years, I feel that God has given me what it takes to go to that side, to serve my people in that direction. So I became a bit stubborn and maybe a rebel.
Okay.
It's all talking about...
You need to be extra tough.
That's it. That is it. Know who you are and don't feel intimidated. If you feel that what you're going to do, humanity is going to benefit from what you are doing, at times you need to forge ahead. You need to be bold and take certain decisions, may step on some aching toes just to make your point, just to let other people know that you are capable of doing, even though it wasn't successful.
Madam Idrisu, let's look at the issue about, you know, combining professional job to domestic, you know, issues. How is it for you, especially, you know, getting to where you have gotten to, at a point you were chairperson for this, board for this, how were you able to combine both?
Well, I have a very understanding husband, and who understands that women should be given every encouragement to move on, and he provided that very safe environment. And I also had a mother, you know, she died, but, you know, they are very supportive, the familial network. And in Africa, really, if you don't have that, you have a problem trying to race against that domestic environment. But I had that. Despite all of that, as she said, it's with immense difficulty that any woman rises to the top. Let no one tell you that it is easy. These were hard political choices where I'm still, you know, one of the leaders in our political arena. And I'm telling you that it can be hard, you know.
How hard is it? Any you know, any scenario you can tell us, you know, to depict how hard it really
for me
was.
it's always been about the struggle for women to for us to have more women in decision making. So for example, Professor Mills, you know, and John Mahama both delighted me. I was happy to be part of that scenario. Nana Akufo-Addo has also, President Akufo-Addo has also taken that on, appointing women in visible senior positions. But that is not only enough. We also need to do something about our politics. Each of the political parties, we need to look at ourselves very well. In terms of how we approach gender.
Okay.
Because when you look at the NDC and the MPP, the two biggest parties, really, we have a problem in terms of our legislators, the number of women that we have. I give this example all the time. In the 3 northern regions, that's, I think it's 56 constituencies. NDC, we only have 1 woman MP, Asiedu-Dartey of Pusiga, and I salute her. But I'm just saying that there is a problem. We need to do more. When we were conducting primaries and the selection, I could see how the women were struggling in the competition, not only for financial resources, but it's a very tough environment, you know. And if you don't have the guts to go through it, I remember distinctly a DCE from the northern region who was excellent material.